Hi, Lucas.
Okay, everyone, we're going to get started shortly. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stronghold PTA's annual celebration of Founders Day and the Ohio PTA Achievement Award presentation. My name is Kelly Gunter, and I'm honored to serve as this year's council president. We are so excited to be back on stage at Stronghold Middle School to honor this year's awards winners from our PTA chapters. Thank you to everyone attending, and a special welcome to all of our recipients, family, and friends. We want to make sure to thank the many individuals who are responsible for this evening's event. Thank you to Stronghold Middle School Principal Jessica Boynton and staff for accommodating us in their building. Thank you to Mr. Scott Benson and SCS TV for recording tonight's program. Thank you to Dr. Riva, Jenny Falco, administration, Stronghold High School board members for your support. And finally, a huge thank you to our Founders Day coordinators. If they're in here, if Laura Housem can come up to the front. Laura, if you can come up to the front. Laura and Hillary have been our Founders Day chairs the last couple of years, and we have a special, we want to recognize Laura. This is her last year in the school system with children. She has been 17 years with our PTAs, and she has put hours and hours and hours and hours of service in. So we wanted to recognize Laura for her huge commitment to Stronghold. And of course, Hillary and all of your committee too for helping us this year. We truly appreciate everything you have done to make this event special. Before we get started, we are very lucky to have a fabulous performance tonight from our Stronghold High School competitive dance team under the direction of Mackenzie Grimm and captains Kelly Cunningham and Reese Stumbeck and student choreographer Mandy Sanook. The dance team.
Can't
Mackenzie Grimm. I'm a speech language pathologist for Strongsville City Schools, and I'm also the coach of the Strongsville High School dance team. Each dance you will see tonight has a different costume, so I will be coming up to speak twice tonight to give them some time to change. So dance team is a competitive team made up of 15 highly trained and skilled dancers. It has been in existence at SHS for over 20 years, and I've been the volunteer coach of it for the past 5 years. In these last 5 years, the team has developed from performing solely at home basketball games to now competing in regional competitions and state championships, which is really typical for so many high school dance teams in Ohio. The team has grown significantly in number of participants, variety of dance genres, community involvement, and achievements. This year, we were named Dance Grand Champions at the Ashland University Cheer and Dance Competition, where we took first place in all 3 of our entered categories. Last year, we were ranked 4th in the state at the OASSA State Championship. Dance team provides students with leadership opportunities. Our captains this year are Kelly Cunningham and Reese Dombeck, and our student choreographers are Katie Sanick and Kelly Cunningham. This team provides a learning experience that is unique and rare for dancers this age to have, which is choreographing their own dance. So through this experience, they increase their leadership, creativity, critical thinking skills, their problem-solving skills, and they learn how to teach a group of people. They spend countless hours of planning, creating art, carefully crafting formations, designing visual effects, and ultimately setting their work on a group of their peers. They then learn and develop teaching skills as they have to teach their dance to the team, answer questions and solve problems along the way, and clean and get their dance ready to perform. The dance you just watched was actually choreographed by 15-year-old sophomore Katie Sanick. The next 2 dances you will see are both competition pieces that won first place and led to ultimately winning grand champions this year. So they're probably still changing, so if you give them another minute, thank you. Okay, so they're gonna change again. So these dancers devote between 2 and 6 hours per week to dance team during winter season, but they also devote time year-round. So in the summer, the fall, and the spring, this is a year-round athletic activity. They work very hard to fundraise throughout the year by doing things like hosting an annual youth dance clinic for students in grades 1 through 8. This year we had over 100 participants. The team is completely funded by the dancers' hard-earned fundraising money and family out-of-pocket costs. They use their fundraising money to pay for POMs, music, busing, studio practice space, some costume pieces, spirit wear, pictures, sound equipment, and putting on their youth dance clinic as well, and all competition entry fees too, which brings titles to our district such as grand champions and state rankings. This team is an enriching opportunity for SHS students as it fosters and enhances work ethic, lasting friendships, teamwork skills, physical strength and endurance, memory, flexible thinking, creativity, artistry, and leadership. It also has a strong focus of preparing these dancers for collegiate dance teams, which are extremely difficult to be selected for, especially in the state of Ohio, which is home to the two-time national champions, The Ohio State University. This group of young women also excels in the areas of academics and extracurriculars. The collective weighted GPA of this team is 4.29, with 13 of the dancers achieving over a 4.0. This academic excellence is especially astounding considering the majority of the dancers on this team train in dance for over 20 hours per week and are actively involved in National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Key Club, Dare Role Models, honors choirs, part-time jobs, yearbook club, French Honor Society, cheerleading, track, etc. We want to thank the PTA for having us tonight. We're honored to be here. We're so excited to share this amazing talent and their hard work with the community. So thank you so much for having us tonight. This next dance they will perform is a lyrical dance.
One foot in front of the other. Keep breathing just like they taught you. You politely asked to take a walk with me. I would have married you there underneath the trees. Is it real, this thing? Is it real? Oh, this thing. How did I miss you when I didn't know you? Ooh, how did I miss you when I didn't know you? Ooh, how did I miss you when I didn't know you? Ooh, how did I miss you when I didn't know you? Ooh, I could make you happy, I could make you love me, I could disappear completely. I could be your love song, I could be long gone, I could be a ghost in your eardrum. I could make you happy, I could make you love me, I could disappear completely. Be with me when you sleep. Be with me.
Thank you very much, Dancing. That was awesome. Okay, tonight we celebrate the best of the best in our PTA community. We'll be recognizing 10 amazing individuals who go above and beyond for our students and our school district. They give their time, talent, and resources to their schools, organizations, and our community. They commit countless hours to make our schools and city a better place. Let's get started. Our first award is from Whitney Elementary and will be presented and accepted by Bethany Bixler. And along the way, as the person ahead of you is speaking, if the next group could come up and sit in these chairs up here. Thank you.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Bethany Bixler, and I am presenting our Founders Day Award to Molly Sunkel. Molly couldn't be here with us tonight, as she had pre-planned already a family vacation, so I will be accepting this award on her behalf. I have gotten the pleasure to know Molly over the last few years. It was a pleasure to get to know her through SEPTA, the preschool that both of our kids go to currently, and now through Whitney's PTA. The moment I met her in SEPTA, I got really excited knowing that our kids would be in the same grades together at Whitney. Her being so hands-on in SEPTA made me happy to have a parent like her joining me at Whitney. Molly is a very involved mother. She's been involved at every level of our kids' education so far, and I'm sure it's not gonna stop here. Her smile and genuine overall nature make her the perfect person to receive this award this year. We need more members like Molly. If you ask anyone who's had the pleasure of working with her, she is always one to push for what's best. She's not afraid to challenge something if it makes sense to make the changes and get things done. Just accepting the answer of that's the way it's always been done is not acceptable for her. In the past, Molly has done a lot to be there for our PTA and past board members, and the list of people who mention how reliable Molly is very long. She would be there for donating items to the classrooms, classroom parties, PTA events, and volunteering when her beautiful family of 4, and soon to be 5, would allow her to be. She is always the PTA and school's biggest cheerleader. She's the first to share a Facebook post, to promote a fundraiser 110%, and ask if there's any way she can support us when she can't physically be there. You all know how much that means when you're a parent of your PTA. Just to have someone to support you in that manner means the world. Not only is Molly a great advocate for our kids, but the reason that we're really recognizing her this year is the work that she's done to put our teachers first and make them feel appreciated. During the pandemic, Molly worked tirelessly up and during Teacher Appreciation Week to collect donations from our local restaurants. The pandemic and some restrictions made it very difficult for us to bring in meals and to support our teachers during conference nights and Teacher Appreciation Week. We were not allowed to make food. Everything had to be prepackaged and safe for our teachers. So not only did she do it, but she got local restaurants to sponsor and donate food to discount their items for every single night of our Teacher Appreciation Week. The teachers were well taken care of because of Molly. She could have taken that opportunity to take the food from the restaurants and be done with it, but then she turned around and made sure all those restaurants were taken care of and thanked for their support. This year and last year, she set up fundraising events at each restaurant to make sure that we showed our appreciation to them and their generous donations. If that doesn't show the kind of person that Molly is, I don't know what will. To mention, this year on conference nights, due to restrictions and rules still being in place, we had to get monetary donations instead of doing a potluck like we normally do. Molly went out of her way to go get special permission to cook everything herself because we did not receive enough donations, and she did everything by herself with no help, didn't even ask. I'm happy to say that Molly will be our PTA for years to come, as she only has 1 student currently in the school, and 3 more are still on their way to make it through. I look forward to all the amazing things we can accomplish over the years with Molly's help. Her passion for kids, appreciation for our teachers, just means that our school is greatly thankful for someone like her to be a part of our PTA. I'm humbled by her generosity and I fully support and appreciate all of that she does for our PTA. I hope this award finds her well and shows her that everything she does for us at Whitney does not go unnoticed. Congratulations, Molly.
All right. The next award from Strongsville Middle School will be presented by Haley Laban.
Good evening. The Strongsville Middle School PTA is proud to recognize Lauren Freeberg as the recipient of the Ohio PTA Achievement Award winner. Lauren has been active in the PTA for many years. She started at Sarar, and now she is also at the middle school. Lauren has volunteered in many ways throughout the years. Most recently, she has served as the council delegate for both the middle school and Sarar, as well as the fundraising chair for the middle school. Being the fundraising chair is a complicated role, and Lauren does it with ease. During our main fundraising campaign this year, Lauren raised $7,000 for the middle school PTA. That money has been used for many things throughout the year, including PBIS awards for students, staff appreciation, grants, and money for the teachers to use in their classrooms. Lauren is always the first person to volunteer for a committee or sign up to work an event. And she does that on top of working full-time and having 3 kids. Lauren is hardworking, efficient, creative, and her computer skills are amazing. I joke that she is the middle school PTA's personal IT department. There have been many times that I need a flyer or a graphic of some sort. I'll work on it for hours and it looks terrible. And I call her after I've finally given up, and 30 seconds later, it's in my inbox and it looks amazing. Lauren is an enormous asset to the Strongsville PTA. I was in a meeting with her earlier this week where we were discussing the effects of social media on our kids. Within a couple of hours, she had the name of possible speaker and a plan of how to move forward. Lauren is someone you can count on, and just know that the work will get done. Lauren is very deserving of this award, and I am so happy to present it to her. Thank you, Lauren, for everything you do for the students and the staff at the middle school. We appreciate you more than you know. Congratulations.
And now I have to hold it. Whose phone is it? Sure, do you mind? Thank you, Haley, and the SMS PTA for this honor. And thank you for my family for coming, even though I think they only came because there's dessert. I'm going to try and keep it short, which is hard, because I get paid to talk for a living. So we are all busy, but as people in this room know, giving up some of your time to get involved in the PTA in the schools is worth making a priority. I have 3 kids who are involved in various activities after school. I have a very busy full-time career at SAP as a software consultant, thus the computer skills. I was traveling frequently and internationally full-time when I first joined the PTA. I'm not from Strongsville, and I didn't know anyone when my daughter first started at Sarar. I went out on a limb and I attended a fundraiser and met some really great people. I started to attend meetings and eventually became involved in fundraising. And then the next thing I know, Misty is passing the baton to me to plan the annual 6th grade camping trip, which I had never been on, had no idea what I was getting into. But in the end, everything that I did was always fun, and anyone who was there would tell you it was probably the most organized event they had ever seen. I've witnessed the PTA change a lot over the years, but what I want to encourage is for everyone to try and avoid doing things the way that they've always been done, and keep looking at things from a different perspective. Don't assume everybody knows what you're talking about. I remember in one of my first meetings at Sarar, I had to ask, what is flowers and sunshine, and why is it in the budget? And if you're the new person, don't be afraid to ask. I want you to always welcome the new people, the kindergarten moms, the working moms, and always be considerate of those who would like to help, but need a little bit of a nudge or an invitation to make them feel like part of things. Be open to including more people than just your friends or the same people who always offer to help. And being part of the PTA has been a great overall experience for me, and over the next
14 more years that I'll be involved in Strongsville City Schools, I want to make sure everybody else feels welcome and included too. Thank you so much.
We're going to move this a little bit toward the center. Hold, please. Nope. All right. Thanks, guys. Sorry. We felt like everyone was in the corner over there. Okay. For our next presentation, we have Strongsville Early Learning Preschool and Jessica Platt.
Good evening. Oh, Katie Drake. There's so much I can say about Katie. As a wife and mom to 4 awesome kids, Katie could say she's too busy with life, but Katie has a true servant's heart. Katie's been involved in several PTAs as her children have grown. Last year, she was president of the Early Learning Preschool during a crazy year full of unknowns. This year, while all of her children have now graduated from preschool, she offered to stay on to help us transition with new board members. Of course, this ended up with some craziness happening, and she ended up staying on permanently with us, which we are very grateful for. She's also involved in the Soror PTA as council delegate and council PTA, where she is overseeing the Reflections program. With the Reflections program, she could have mailed all of the kids' projects, but she didn't want them getting ruined in the mail, so she drove them to Columbus in her busy schedule. I think that's a pretty awesome reflection of what Katie does. Katie is always putting others first and goes above and beyond to make sure everyone feels welcome. My first experience with the PTA was actually Katie at a drive-through trunk or treat that we did for the preschool during COVID, and masked and kids just going through with their cars. She took the time to get to know my family. We were new to the school district. We knew barely anybody, and she really engaged in us to know how our family was. We're not the only ones she's done that with. I've watched her with so many other PTA families at events and constantly going around engaging with those families and making everyone feel welcome. Katie's compassion reaches out to our teachers as well. She has jumped in every time we've had something going on with the teachers to make sure our teachers are loved and appreciated in all they do for our children. Katie, we are so grateful for you as a board member, but also as a friend. So we are honored to present you this award this evening. Congratulations, Katie.
Closer to me. Maybe not. Okay. Thank you, Jessica Platt, for that lovely introduction. I'm honored to receive this award. PTA has always been a big part of my life, from being a PTA president for 4 years at a small private school to being the president and vice president, committee chairperson for Reflections. I feel honored to be able to serve the teachers and families at SELP. The teachers, aides, speech, and occupational therapists at SELP have made all the difference in my twin boys' life. They began at 3, and they couldn't be separated from each other, let alone from me. They had their own language, and they were constantly screaming. My husband would say they were barely human at the time when they went. At the end of their time at SELP, they were talking and become their own individuals. They became people. And how could I say no when I had the opportunity to serve such an amazing school that had done so much for our lives? And I feel like there's a huge opportunity there for everyone here to look at the school and see the ways that the teachers are taking steps to make your kids' lives so much better. And it was a no-brainer for me to be able to stay on and help, even though my kids are at Soror now. And I am so grateful for all the work and all the hard work that has gone into making their lives better. Thank you to Megan Caruso and Maria Planka for all you do to support the PTA. Thank you to my amazing husband who's always partnered in the adventure with me, dressing up as Olaf or Elsa Zoom, moving boxes to fit everything, making all kinds of kits for Zoom, and to my kids who always pitch in and help with every single PTA event there is. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Sorare Elementary, and you guys get me. Okay. Sorare Elementary PTA is excited to present Amy Laban with this year's Ohio PTA Achievement Award. I have been lucky enough to know Amy since we were kids and have had the pleasure of remaining friends with her and calling her a dear friend as adults as we manage our children through all the crazy things that we do. When I became president at Sorare, my son was only in kindergarten. I asked Amy to become secretary. Remember that she hadn't even stepped foot in the school yet, and she agreed to do that. She was also working a full-time job at that point and blindly said yes to coming on to PTA. We both navigated the new PTA world together, and she took the lead to get our Facebook page running smoothly, which was completely updating the job as corresponding secretary at our school. After 2 years as secretary, she took the giant leap to become treasurer, and she really killed it. We changed a lot of our fundraising during that time in our early years at PTA at Sorare, and she met that challenge and surpassed it. She initiated online payments for dues and fundraising, which was a big step forward at Sorare, and one of the first in the district. After 2 years as treasurer, she has remained active in either chairing or having been part of every single committee at Sorare. She's now helping to head an initiative to recreate the blacktop recess area with funds that we have and add more recreational items for our kids. And since she's not busy enough, she decided to help lead the charge for the 6th grade camp as her boys jump into middle school. She's been a room mom for all 3 of her kids and is always there to help and volunteer for any task, typically being the first person to do so. She's been a great advocate for our kids, teachers, and Sorare Elementary across the district. Amy is a Strongsville grad and forever Mustang, and has learned from her mom, Robin, who is also fully invested in the Strongsville PTA at all levels. I have no doubt that Amy will continue her amazing involvement in PTA at the middle school and high school as well. Amy has always been kind of an unsung hero. So sorry I could tear you. She's always involved and never looking for any glory or recognition. I think she truly deserves this award for all of her hard work, dedication, amazing attitude, and room-brightening smile and everything that she's done for Sorare. Congratulations.
No, I got it. Well, thank you very much, Kelly. That was really sweet. Didn't think I would tear up, but it did, so thanks. I don't have anything prepared for this. I just want to keep it short and sweet. Thank you very much to Sorare PTA for nominating me for this. It's really nice to be recognized. I do this because I want it to be basically around my kids, see them in school, know their teachers, know the school better, which it has done all that and more, and then I get to be around my kids too, and hopefully they enjoy that too. So thank you, congratulations to all the other recipients. Thanks to my kids, thanks to my husband who constantly supports me, and that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Council PTA Award that will be presented by Jenny Pelko.
George, you can come up here a little bit more. Be in front, come on. So George, it's finally your turn. You see, I was first honored with the PTA Achievement Award a few years back, and then it was Dr. Riva's turn, and he was awarded it. So lucky for you, we decided to start this little tradition where we really tell what it's really like to work with each other on a regular basis. And how could I break that tradition tonight? So I will be a little careful because he does sign my paycheck every couple weeks. So let me tell you what it's like to work with George on a regular basis. As a Strongsville resident, George is super involved in the community. He attends fundraisers, supports many community organizations, is an active member of our levy committees, and is always volunteering his time. You may even see him in the summer sweating under a tent helping out at the Strongsville Home Days. We also know not to schedule any meetings on Friday mornings, as it's most likely he's at Rotary doing his community service, but as we like to call it, enjoying a great breakfast and socializing with all of his friends. So about monthly, we meet as a central office team to discuss issues and projects and share what's happening in each of our departments. George does his very best to pay attention to what we discuss, but when we start talking and using all this educational jargon, he may tune out a little bit. So we know now to use key words like hiring, budget, 5-year forecast, or when we really need to get his attention, we just say, "This will cost a lot of money." And all of a sudden, his head perks up from his computer, and he's like, "What's that? What'd you say?" So obviously, as a treasurer, you need to count every penny and ensure that everything balances correctly. So one of the things George has to prepare every single year is our 5-year forecast, and with that, he needs to account for all the position changes. So as we go through the hiring season, I share my spreadsheet with him, my worksheet as I go through and hire, with all of the changes, and hopefully, I'm hoping he can track all the positions and placements. After all, he needs to make sure all these people get paid right. Well, what I have learned is that a treasurer and an assistant superintendent don't always speak the same language, because in September, when the hiring is all done, I can expect multiple texts and calls asking me who took this position and where did this person go? And I can't believe, George, you can't understand my crazy notes in my spreadsheets. And sometimes I just like to mess with him and say, "I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is." In all honesty, George is one of the most in-touch, hands-on treasurers I know. In all honesty, he rarely tells us no when we have ideas for programs or personnel that we are like, and we know we're gonna mess up his forecast, and he still says, "Okay, let's go for it, let's try it." He continually looks for new ways to improve current practices and works side by side with those that need to implement new programs. Some examples include recommending the district join a healthcare consortium with neighboring school districts to lower healthcare administrative costs, implementing programs within the healthcare program to mitigate increasing insurance premiums, establishing a vendor marketplace to buy district supplies to ensure the lowest cost, helping our athletic department transfer to a ticketless system, or a paperless ticketing system, and maximizing investment opportunities to increase interest revenue, and last, but certainly not least, refinancing debt to save property owners money that district by reducing their actual tax bill, which is often unheard of. His integrity is the best in the state as he continuously wins multiple awards that sometimes he can't even pronounce, like the ASBO Meritorious Budget Award for 5 consecutive years, the ASBO Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for 5 consecutive years, the Ohio Auditor Award with Distinction for 3 consecutive years, and the GFOA Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. To receive these such distinctive awards, and it takes dedication and an unbelievable amount of hours at the office. It's not uncommon for George to be the last to lock up or let me know that he's going to be there on Saturday morning working. This does not come without sacrifice. And so I know they're here somewhere. I want to thank his wife, Katina, and his children, Maria and Constantine, for sharing him with us and for your support to allow him to be the incredible treasurer that he is for Strongsville City Schools. Congratulations, George, so well deserved.
Thank you, Jenny. The spreadsheets are a little difficult to read sometimes. That's usually, sure we need that many teachers? But no, thanks for the introduction, Jenny. And first, I'd like to congratulate all the Founders Day Recipient Award winners. It's people like you and the rest of the PTA who put in the countless volunteer hours to make Strongsville a great school district and a great place to live. Thank you to the Council PTA for recognizing me as your 2022 Founders Day Award recipient. I'm truly honored and humbled. I would also like to thank my wife and kids for their constant support and putting up with all the additional projects and events I get myself into and volunteer for. My wife, Katina, she handles a lot with me working all those additional hours and the commitments that I have. My parents, who are also here and made the drive from Warren, Ohio, thank you for your constant support and the values that you have instilled in me. You have always led by example and given back to the community, and you continue to do so. To all the Board of Education members, I know there's a few of you out here tonight, and the ones that I've worked with over the past 7 years, thank you for believing in me, taking a chance on me, and thank you for your continued support. To all my colleagues and coworkers, thank you for putting up with me no matter what new change I'm trying to implement or crazy idea that I might have. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and we've been a great team for the last 7 years. And then also a shout out to my secretary, Dawn, who's here as well. Thank you for all you do for us and keeping us organized and in line. I moved to Strongsville from Warren about 16 years ago without knowing anyone in the area. As I look out into this crowd, I see so many familiar faces that have supported me through this journey where I now call Strongsville home. Working for the school district has blessed me with the opportunity to partner with so many of you, whether it be the PTA, various booster groups, levy committees, Rotary, or the various youth sporting organizations that our kids are a part of. All of us are working towards the same goal, the betterment of our students, the school district, the city, and the community as a whole. And to wrap up, that a quote that I found that really resonated with me, volunteers do not necessarily have the time, they just have heart. And hearing everyone's speeches tonight, everyone in this room has a big heart. Thank you for all you do for the school district and community, and thank you for this award. Thank you.
The next award for Maraski Elementary will be presented by Sime Semenget.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure tonight to present the Ohio PTA Achievement Award to Cinnamon Safani. I'd like to take a quick survey. How many of you, by a show of hands, wish there was more time in the day? If I could bottle it up and sell it, I'd be a millionaire. I honestly don't know how Cinnamon does it, and for all those who have received awards this evening, it's just amazing. Like me, I'm sure the things that matter most in life for all of you is to be a great parent, being the best parent that you can be. It's reassuring to know that while I can't make every event we've got an amazing Maraski PTA that ensures that there are fun activities throughout the year that both moms and dads have fun participating in with their kids. Cinnamon is a person who stands out in the crowd. If you find the party, Cinnamon is usually right at the center, keeping things organized and making sure that everything is running smoothly. She has poured countless hours into creating fun, inclusive, and memorable opportunities for our children. She has a well-rounded calendar of events full of fun for our children, our parents, and school staff. She's passionate about every project, every activity, whether it's the food drive, giving tree, or a movie night. Cinnamon makes every event special, and it's not a mundane task for her, but instead a labor of love. And that labor of love is felt by all those at Maraski. I love how Cinnamon is always thinking outside the box for creative new ways to energize and get more families involved. One of our favorite new events this year was the Maraski Running Club. It brought together our youth and parents, not only socially, but with a focus on health and wellness. We're very fortunate to have a great staff at Muraski and a strong PTA through Cinnamon's leadership. Cinnamon, I'm so excited for you, and thank you for all that you do.
Hi. I'm not a fan of public speaking, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm also extremely humbled to be accepting this award. I'm here because of my children. I love my children and I want to be a part of their lives, so being able to volunteer is just such a gift. I'm blessed to have a wonderful group of moms at Muraski who help and support all the fun and crazy ideas that we come up with. I'm also blessed to call them friends. We get to enjoy each other's company. The staff at Muraski is just like no other, and I'm so happy and blessed to have been assigned that school, but I would choose it in a heartbeat. I'm also thankful for my husband. He actually should probably be up here right side next to me because he does just as much for the PTA at Muraski as I do. He supported me through this journey, through all of the stressful nights and the worrying, that makes sure that everything is done properly. And always, no matter what I say, will just calm me down and say, it's okay, we'll figure it out. So I know that for him, this was just something that he feels, we both feel. We wanted to put our community first and to show our children the value of giving back. I'm thankful that I'm able to do these things, that our school and community are such a great source of joy for us. I hope my children can look back and are happy with the opportunities that we help to provide. So, thank you.
Okay, next up is Kinsner Elementary with the award presented by Steve Dietrich and Susan Thomas.
That's right, Sam. You're so amazing. You get two people presenting for you tonight, all right? So, I want to first apologize. I was a former history teacher here, and now I'm a principal, but I'm going to give a quick connection to history. So, throughout history, we look for leadership to help us through crisis. So whether it's FDR in the Great Depression, Ronald Reagan in the Cold War, or LeBron James coming back in 2016 from a 3-1 deficit from the Warriors, these men have proven a sense of calm during a turbulent time. And I don't need to mention too much in this, but the last couple of years for education has been a turbulent time. It's been extremely hard on our kids. This pandemic has presented challenges that have called for leadership and care and knowledge. Well, I'm here to say that Mr. Lawrence, our school counselor, is that leader. Mr. Lawrence has led our staff through the crisis, always keeping our students' best interests in mind. There isn't a day that goes by that myself or my staff is looking to Sam for advice and discussions on how to improve our own instruction. Mr. Lawrence, I have to say I'm extremely proud of the work that you've done and the relationships that you have created with our staff and students, and I can't think of a better man to get this award.
Following up on what Mr. Dietrich said, I want to say that I'm so thrilled to share with you how special our PTA's recipient of the Ohio PTA Achievement Award is this year. Mr. Samuel Lawrence is in his second year here in Strongsville as Kinsner's guidance counselor. As Mr. Dietrich mentioned, he entered his role in fall of 2020 with his work cut out for him as our students began remotely amidst all of the mid-pandemic protocols in place. And as Mr. Lawrence pointed out, he was challenged to get to know the kids behind masks. He never even got to see their smiles in person for an entire year. I personally started noticing his unique energy before I even met him in person. His strengths were coming through over his pop-in lessons during my daughter's first grade remote school lessons. I really knew he was making an impact when I overheard him present a lesson about emotions. He asked the class if they could name something that made them happy. I heard a little boy shout into the microphone, "You! Mr. Lawrence, you make me happy." He nailed it. That little boy, he did. Sam Lawrence wants nothing more than for everyone, young, older, in between, to feel happy, validated, and like they matter. He does this by using excellent word choices and inflection that ensures understanding and collaborative action. He demonstrates his education and understanding of his craft, if you will, as needed to back his choices, but mostly he's a natural. Want to make someone fulfill their potential? Show compassion, offer support, and lead by example. That's what Sam does. Everyone around him feels his energy, respects his effort, and enjoys his company. And so he spreads encouragement and motivation in line with his professional role and far beyond it. Mr. Lawrence not only ensures that the children around him reach the potential that PTA so proudly bases its mission upon, he sincerely, I think, just needs and loves to do anything he can to ensure that good vibes, fairness, and humanity prevail. He has shown this pure compassion time and time again to our Kinsner kids, staff, and families, and is making such a difference. I even got a surprise support phone call one day from Sam, moments after apologizing to him in a quick email because I was behind on a few things, mentioning that my kids were home and I was out of time and blah, blah, blah. My phone rang. I said it was Kinsner. In my head, I thought I did something wrong. My kid didn't do something, I don't know, something bad, right? And said it was Mr. Lawrence. He said, "Mrs. Thomas, I actually just have 3 minutes before I'm heading into a lesson, but I saw your email and I wanted to call and tell you, I think you're doing a great job. I'm not just here for the kids, I'm about the families, and I want you to know that you matter." Full, better, that's what he does for everybody around him. Mr. Lawrence matters to every person and parent involved in our school, and I'll conclude with a few other sentiments from our PTA members who couldn't be here. They said, in our votes for this award, which he actually won unanimously, he works hard to make each child feel important. He's a natural leader who exudes positive energy. He came to Kinsner during the hardest year possible and immediately got to work. We love his student ambassador program and 5th grade job program. My kids love when he comes out to recess to play. He fosters leadership and kindness. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. We can't wait to enjoy the continued positive progress that you inspire at our school.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I don't know if I've ever received flowers before, I'm not gonna lie. It's a nice feeling, it's a nice feeling. So, good evening, everyone. I'm absolutely thrilled to have been nominated for and eventually the winner of the PTA Achievement Award. This award embodies the goal of supporting students' needs as they find success inside and outside of the classroom. Growing up in Brooklyn, New York, Strongsville, Ohio, is so far from what I would have planned to be my reality, but I'm so glad it is. Much of my success that has led me to this wonderful place has been due to the supportive communities I've been a part of that encouraged me to find my own greatness. It is almost poetic justice that I have found a place in Kinsner Elementary where the families aim to do the same for the children as well. So, there are a lot of thank yous for tonight, so I'm gonna try and keep them short. My daughter's back there, so, yeah. So first, I'll thank my wife, who's also back there, allowed us to stay up late at night. Bedtime's actually 7 p.m. We're a little bit past that. I want to thank the administrative staff of my Kinsner family. Mr. Diedrich, Mrs. Marconi, and Mrs. Hawk have played a tremendous part in my development. Thank you to my fellow educators and support staff. I don't know if there's a more supportive group than they are. From Mrs. Hoffman to Mrs. Bender, Mrs. Weirs, Mrs. DeVore, and everyone in between. They all have taken the time to support all of my lofty goals and initiatives for the benefit of the children. I know you're tired of me, but I appreciate that of what you put up with. So finally, I want to thank the Kinsner PTA family. As I said before, I would not have been successful without people supporting me at an early age. And I get the same feeling from you all now. You engage and advocate for the children like nothing I've ever seen before. The positive atmosphere created is a testament to the community you are all building. My short time at Kinsner, it would have been very easy for anybody to give up and say, we aren't doing anything, it's a COVID year. And I know we've heard that before plenty of times already. Sometimes I felt like that myself, actually. But PTA somehow continued to find ways to make the school experience a positive one, which was a testament to their resiliency. So PTA, your actions actually motivate me, and I know it motivates the rest of the Kinsner community to be the best versions of ourselves so we can help the students unlock their fullest potential. So thank you again for this honor, for the plaque, for the flowers, and we are not done growing together, so thank you.
Our next award from Strongsville Early Childhood PTA will be presented by Jessica Koza.
It's been a really long time since I've worn heels. So tonight, it is my honor to present Dr. Christina Peters with the Ohio PTA Achievement Award on behalf of the Strongsville Early Childhood PTA. Christina has been with us for about 6 years. She has served as a vice president, children's party chair, and our preschool prom coordinator. Christina was our first preschool prom coordinator, and that year was a critical time for us to change our fundraising efforts. She had a vision, and under her great leadership, we had our very first successful preschool prom. Christina is what some of us refer to as the Pinterest mom. Always has unique ideas and decorations for her events, but her best events is always when we did our favorite things parties. And if you've never done a favorite things party, it is a great way to get to know your girlfriends. It's a great way to get a kitchen gadget and your makeup item. I found a cleaning product, and I'm, yay adulting. Christina wears many hats. She is a physician, which comes in handy in any mom squad. She has 2 beautiful children, Aria and Evan, with the most unique souls I have ever seen, and a loving husband, Brad, who we are so thankful to for sharing her with us. She is also a Girl Scout troop leader and active in the Kinsner PTA. Most of all, she is a kind, beautiful, straightforward friend. In the last couple of years, we've gotten close. There's a group of us. We camped together for the first time, and that was a challenge, but we're going on year 3 this summer, so it obviously worked out. So we've shared vacations together, laughs, called her late at night, hey, I still have that bruise from the time I fell off the boat. This year is her last year with us, and her talents will be missed, but we look forward to seeing what she does throughout the district. And once again, congratulations on this very well-deserved reward.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you to the PTA. And thank you to my friends and my family. You've all heard my daughter back there cheering on everybody tonight. Speeches aren't really my forte, so I'm going to make this relatively short and sweet. I am truly so honored and humbled to have been selected for this award. I also have practiced this about 10 times and I cry every time, so I'm sorry about that. I initially joined the PTA in order to find activities for my friends and meet new families. Then I chose to serve on the board as a way to meet new mom friends. A couple of meetings in, I somehow found myself planning and organizing a brand new fundraising adventure, the preschool prom. After months of brainstorming, committee meetings, and planning, we were all so excited when the first annual preschool prom finally arrived. Our members arrived early that morning at the middle school here to decorate and set up. The food, desserts, and raffle baskets were donated from community businesses. The Key Club volunteers worked the bake sale and served food so our members could enjoy the event with their children. The custodians pitched in to find just the right ambiance. And even my husband carried in case after case of water and decorations without a single complaint, while my kids ran crazy around the cafeteria. When I finally had a moment to breathe, I remember looking around and feeling so proud, this is where I cry, and in awe of all we had accomplished together. The event was a great success, thanks to the hard work and dedication of our members and our community. I'm inspired by the selflessness, the creativity, and the spirit of my fellow PTA moms, and dads for that matter. My family's time with SEPTA is coming to an end as my kids are apparently growing up despite my wishes. I'm thankful for the lifelong friendships I've found through SEPTA, and I'm honored to be part of such a great organization, district, and community. I can't wait to see what SEPTA accomplishes in the future. Thank you.
Number one fan. Okay, our next award from Chapman Elementary will be presented by Megan Murphy.
Chapman's Ohio PTA Achievement Award recipient this year is Ann Cola-Giovanni. Ann truly deserves this award. She has been an active member of the Chapman PTA since 2013 and an active member of the middle school PTA since 2019, serving the roles of committee head and board member in both. Ann's most significant role was serving as Chapman's co-president from 2019 to 2021, coinciding with the most challenging time in our school's history, the COVID pandemic. Despite all the uncertainty and inconsistencies during those years, Ann proved to be an extremely strong leader for Chapman and our PTA. Ann is a team player who gets along with everyone. She always brings wonderful ideas to the table and is willing to compromise. Even under pressure, Ann stays cool, calm, and collected. In addition to being an amazing PTA board member, Ann heads the Chapman Book Fair Committee, which is not a small undertaking. Under Ann's guidance, the book fair has been a fun event for the Chapman students and staff, as well as a successful fundraiser for the Chapman PTA. On a personal note, Ann is the reason I wanted to commit my time to the Chapman PTA. She welcomed me into the PTA family warmly and helped me see how my own talents could be helpful to the school and its students. In closing, Ann is a wonderful asset to Strongsville City School District, and we are all very lucky to have her. Congratulations.
So it was 2014, the year my oldest son was starting first grade at Chapman. And simply put, he wasn't happy about being there all day. For those who know him only in more recent years, this may come as a surprise, since not only is my son Nicholas a terrific student, but he seems to make himself at home in the halls of our schools. However, back in 2014, school days were much more stressful. And in an effort to ease the stress, both his, but mostly mine, I found that if I told him I was going to be physically in the building, Even though I was not with him, those mornings went a little bit easier. So I started attending meetings, helping out at class parties, volunteering at recess, working the book fair, whatever got me in the building, so that perhaps I could sneak over and wave hello to him at some point during the day. And by the time he settled down and settled in, I was pretty reeled in as well. Casually joining different events and committees here and there, transitioned into taking on room parent gigs and different board positions. And by the time my younger son, Matthew, who is a current third grader, made it to Chapman, I had stopped working outside the home and have been able to devote a lot of my time during the day to different volunteer projects that have come my way, including helping out at the schools. Whenever there is something that comes up where I feel I can pitch in, I'm really very happy to be able to say yes. It's fun to work with the other parents and get to know them. I have met some of the best friends of my adult life through Chapman, a few of whom came with me here tonight, since 2 of my family members are at sporting events. I always enjoy seeing not only my kids, but theirs as well, engaged in different fun events at the schools. Even when it's a lot of work, it's always been fun for me to get to do stuff, except for the one time we were asked to make popcorn for the school's Polar Express Day. Word of advice, if that one ever comes up for anyone, you might want to give that a hard no, and trust me, you'll thank me later. Getting to know the staff at Chapman has been such a joy over the years as well. Seeing the way our teachers and our staff embrace the children has been truly awesome. I don't think I would have had the pleasure to see and really know this if I hadn't been able to volunteer for things. Finally, speaking now as a middle school and a Chapman mom, and as an auntie to a couple fabulous little guys at Sarar, I want to thank all those who have been a volunteer through the years for my family members. Whether you were the parent who volunteered to chair a committee, or attended a planning meeting, or took off of work to go to one of their class parties, or even supported a food night or one of the fundraisers, I want to say thank you. You have contributed to adding the memories to the school years of my kids and their classmates, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, Megan, for being here and introducing me tonight, and thank you to my friend and wonderful next-door neighbor, Allison Lake, for writing the nomination. And to my friends currently on the Chapman PTA board, thank you for the recognition, and congratulations to the other fantastic recipients and their PTAs.
Okay. And last but not least, Strongsville High School Award will be presented by Kelly Pressman.
Hello, I'm Kelly Prestron, and I have the honor tonight of awarding the Founders Day Award to Misty Schultz on behalf of the Strongsville High School PTA. Let me first say that the high school PTA is a little bit different than the other PTAs. We're a little bit older. We're kind of like a beaten down group of people. We have teenagers. Actually, if Mr. Lawrence could come and tell us we mattered at the next meeting, that would be great, because we need it. So when 3 of us said we would find the next recipient, that's always really challenging, because when you look around the room, it's the same people you've been with for years, and everyone's had it. So as I'm sitting in that meeting and I look around the room, there was a white light shining on Misty like there always is, and she's sitting there smiling and, raising her hand, I'll do it. And I thought, I bet she's already had it. So before the meeting was even over, I text Kelly and I said, go find out if Misty got it. She didn't have it yet. Great, we know who our winner is. Misty and her husband Rick graduated from Strongsville and are now raising their 4 amazing kids here. Misty has been involved in the PTA for many years, and again, I'm not sure how she has not already received this award. To show just how long she has been involved, Misty told me this is her 11th year of being a room parent at Kinsner Elementary. Misty has participated in many audit committees, has served as a high school delegate, runs the high school PTA webpage and publicity, and has organized 2 graduations for Kinsner Elementary, and will soon be planning another one for her twins who are in 5th grade. I got to know Misty better when she was planning the 6th grade camp for our now juniors. It's a huge undertaking and a wonderful event for the 6th graders that wouldn't be possible without the parents who run it. She went on to plan it again for her son and will plan it again next year. Oh, I already said that, sorry. Misty has also planned the 8th grade DC trip. It's a rite of passage for these kids. And for the parent chaperones, it's very exhausting. And you literally lose years off your life. But if you haven't done it, it's great. I don't want to scare you off. It's a ton of work to plan and a ton of responsibility to plan events like this, and Misty has planned them to perfection. No doubt many students have wonderful memories they will carry with them forever because Misty took the time to volunteer to plan these events. When Misty is involved, you know it will be done right, it will be done with passion, creativity, and calmness. Congratulations, Misty, and thank you for all you have done.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for all the kind words, and thank you for the nomination and everyone who went into selecting me for this award. When I was informed, I was like literally shocked. I was like, oh my God. Super excited and also flattered, and I just feel really honored to be selected for this award. So thank you very much. I, like Kelly said, grew up in Strongsville and went to Strongsville City Schools my whole childhood, and now, crazy enough, I have 4 wonderful kids that are in the district. 2 in 5th grade, going to be going to the middle school, and then 2 high schoolers, and every step of the way has been such a great experience for us and my family. From Strongsville, the administration, and from the teachers and the staff and the parents that are involved, I feel so fortunate to be a part of this community and be a part of it all, and I've met so many amazing people through PTA and just through the school district and through living in Strongsville, and I just feel very fortunate. So thank you to everyone that does so much for our kids, because I look out in the audience and all these faces are all the faces that I see countless times again, like in the schools, outside of the schools, at the events, behind the scenes, all of it, and it couldn't be done without all of you. So I just want to take this second to thank all of you for all that you guys do, and thank you for this award, and I feel honored. And lastly, thank you to my family who's here. I'm missing my one son who's at lacrosse, but thank you for all your support, and thank you for inspiring me every day. So thank you guys. Thank you.
On behalf of Strongsville Council PTA, I want to say a final congratulations to all of our honorees tonight. And before we conclude our program tonight, it is my privilege to introduce Mrs. Jenny Pogo, Assistant Superintendent of Strongsville City Schools, for closing remarks.
This microphone is driving me crazy. I just want to take it off here. Kelly, I can't believe after those remarks that people aren't running out of this room and saying, oh my gosh, high school is a long time away for some of us. No. What a wonderful evening. I just really, really enjoy coming to Founders Day every single year. I think it's such a great testament to honor those that serve and recognize others for the efforts that they put forth. And you know, I also want to thank a few people for putting this night together. First, I want to thank Mackenzie for bringing our dance team tonight. Usually we have our orchestra or our band play, and to have our dance team tonight and feature some of those strong females and honor the work that they put in at each and every day to perform, I think is remarkable. So they did a phenomenal job tonight, and I just wanted to thank Mackenzie for volunteering her time and being here tonight. I also want to thank Kelly for tonight and emceeing here. I also want to thank Laura and Hillary. They're way in the back, and they don't want a lot of praise back there, but they put this whole thing together. So thank you so much for your efforts. Also want to thank our administrative team. Some of our administrators are here tonight, and your continued support of PTA, and I know you work hand in hand with them to bring a lot of these events and programs to our children, and it's just so important. And also our board members who are in attendance tonight, and all of your efforts and partnership with the PTA over the years is just very much appreciated. I want to say a couple things that I heard tonight. First of all, with Sam Lawrence, I have to say, interviewing him the first time, we had a little group, and I think we did it on Google Meet, I believe, because of COVID. And I think we talked to him for maybe a half an hour, and we hung up with him, and we were on the call together, and I said, I think we're done. I think we have our person after one interview. And so one of the things that I believe Susan shared about him was leading by example. And that is so true, especially now with our children. They see so much, they experience so much, whether it be through social media, through peers, and in our schools and outside of our schools, and so much to navigate, especially over these last 2 years. I mean, who would have thought we would have gone through something like this together? And over the course of tonight, I heard a lot of things. I wrote some of these down so I didn't remember because they were so good from your speeches. Don't do things the way they've always been done. I think that's so important. Think outside the box. Be innovative. Empower yourself to do something different. Don't always think, I'm just going to do it that way. It's always been done that way. Let's just do it. And I've heard a lot throughout the night of new programs and new things you were involved in and created for our kids. Giving back to those that serve, us, we're going to give back. We're going to pay it forward. And what a great example that is that you give back, and the things that you do and the time and effort you just give to our schools is commendable. Heard a lot of teamwork, how working together as a team, we couldn't do it alone, whether it's our spouse, whether it's our friends. We definitely need that team. Anything I've ever done, I've done it better because of the people around me and the team that I work with. Hard work, that's something that I'll hire anybody any day for their work ethic. The fact that they'll go above and beyond and continue to persevere through issues and work hard, you can't teach that. And then finally, heart. Having that heart and that passion to do what's best for others, it really is, you are leading by example. And not only the lessons you're teaching your own children, although it's sacrifice to be away from them and planning these events and being there, those lessons you're teaching your children are so valuable, and not only your own children, but all of the children here in our schools. And finally, I'll leave you with this: be the best version of yourselves. I know these things take time, and stress takes over, and I'm never going to get all this done. But again, continue to be the best version of you, because that's what our children deserve. Thank you very much.
All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks everybody for coming, and enjoy the rest of your evening.